What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, and we're back to talk a little transfer news, talking about Daniel Farke's comments today in the pre-match press conference for Sheffield Wednesday. Daniel Farke came out firing, in my opinion. I think he made some very interesting points today, and we're going to go through a few of them today. Listen, we're going to speak about a link that's been a player that's been linked with us very loosely, but I'm also going to speak about a player that I think would be perfect for Leeds United. Look, we don't get any links. And besides the same names being recycled over and over again, one who is soon to be off the board, I thought, why not put one out in the atmosphere? You know, just put it out there. You never know. Remember when I said Weston McKennie should sign and he signed the next day? Maybe this will happen too. You never know. But people, like the video, please. Algorithm, it helps everything. Subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your comments below. Thank you to William Morrison, Parrot House, and Mr. P for the super thanks on the last videos. Much appreciated, guys. Thank you to all existing members as well. Shout out to all of my members of the channel that help me out in that way. Really does go a long way. If you want to become a member of the channel, the link is in the description or is next to the subscribe button called join. Ryan, did you get your Bamford shirt delivered in the post? No, I got a big old sofa. And listen, I'm not going to take the credit. I did not put it together. My hands just don't work like that. And I can see all the Yorkshiremen there, the hard grafters out there saying, you what? Just call me a Southern Softy, whatever it is. I'm just not built that way. But listen, that's what I was waiting for today. Isaac saying, KG, for the life of me, I can't pronounce the name of this player. Well, we'll go through it in a bit, Isaac. We'll go through it a bit later. But yeah, I just wanted to put a name out there. I've been, and it's one I've been sitting on for a while. Pause. Whoa. That's crazy. Pause. But it's one that I thought, you know what, man? It makes sense because he's probably in the price range of what the 49ers are looking for too. So there's a lot of things about the name I'm going to mention later on that makes a lot of sense. So, stay tuned and see what you think. If you haven't heard of him, go look him up as well after the stream. One of those. I was also on with Connor on this channel earlier today. So if you didn't see that, go and watch that. We was having a good old chat. Talking about just things that could be better with both the 49ers and Farke. And yeah, I think everyone is in the same boat where we just want signings in, but not just any old signings. For me, it has to be quality, but we thought we was going to move at a bit of a quicker pace than this, as did Daniel Farke, and we'll speak about it. And listen, just to get one off the board, people, let's just get this out of the way. Jonathan Rowe, let's just cross this one off. We don't need to mention him in the comments anymore. No point speaking about it. Norwich and Marseille have agreed a 40 million deal for Jonathan Rowe, who is set to fly out for his medical later today. Further 3 million in bonuses, and sell on agreed. So there you go. That is done and dusted. Jonathan Rowe gate, it is over. Okay, it's done. Finito. And when you see that we was in for what was it, like 8 million for Jonathan Rowe, you can kind of see why Norwich held out and said, actually, I think we could get a little bit more. You know what I mean? So there we are. Jonathan Rowe is gone. Let's have a look. Nige saying, evening, KG, excuses loud and proud today at presser from Daniel Farke. Well, look, let's go into that a bit. Yeah, let's go into that, because I think there was a lot of repeat from Daniel Farke today. In all fairness, there was a lot of he got the 90 points in again. He got in the XG for the Portsmouth game. He's getting in a lot of the previous things. But what he did say, that was what he's reiterated. He has not backed down, and we've seen when managers have backed down before. We both, even Bielsa did as well, but more so Jesse Marsch, when they say that we need players, and then they obviously get a word from the owner, and then they say, well, actually, we don't need the players. No, Daniel Farke has stood on it, and he has said, no, I need players. We need help. We need players in. By the way, very interesting as well that Daniel Farke himself said in regards to the departures of Somerville and Jorginho, and I'm paraphrasing here, I don't remember it word for word, but he basically said, if you look at their contributions, they were a large part of what we did last season, which is the only thing I've said as well. And people would tell me that I'm crazy and stuff, but there you go, from the manager's mouth himself. But Daniel Farke did say this as well, and he's absolutely correct in what he said, in that he was talking to the 49ers because he was asked if it's fair that he fronts up instead of someone from the 49ers, because obviously the local journals want to be a little bit more in the know, and obviously, as we know, they don't know anything at this point. But he said he's the face of the club right now. He's the mouthpiece. He's here to defend the club. But he did say that when it comes to players like Somerville, when it comes to Jorginho, that he should be prepared. And that is something that myself and Connor were talking about earlier. You cannot have these kind of players in the Championship and think that if we fail to go up, they're going to be here for another year. That's crazy. And only an amateur would be thinking like that. So they should have had contingency plans in place for any departures, like a Gray, who they already guaranteed we couldn't keep. Somerville, who was hot. Everyone was after Somerville. And then Jorginho Rutter, and obviously that Brighton interest. First of all, the first bid should have triggered a little bit of a warning, like, uh-oh, Brighton, what are you doing? What are you doing there? You should have had some people in place. And that's why it's been so disappointing for me in terms of the way we've moved in the window, because we haven't replaced these players like straight away. And of course, football doesn't work like that, but you can do it. And it has been done. We've seen with other teams. Obviously, other teams aren't shopping in the same. I know this is gonna get a lot of flack here, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. A lot of teams aren't shopping in the same shop that we're shopping in, so it's easier for them to replace players. Whereas we're trying to get anything close to a Somerville, anything close to a Jorginho, and it's near impossible. Danny Farke yet again today reiterated that it's going to take more than just one player to replace those kind of players, which is true. And yes, Sam, that's true. I saw that. Yeah, Elvis being quoted too. Yeah, a little less conversation, a little more action. Yeah, as Popey rightly puts here. Um, he says he's and listen, and just before we go into the transfer so heavy, Farker has said this now. So this is where I go with his part of it, his part, the coaching, getting the best out of the players he's got, because he's got a real good 11. Once again, the only doubt for the game is probably going to be Max Verber. So you going with another strong lineup against Sheffield Wednesday. He needs to focus on getting the points. All the excuses for me when it comes to the games, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear about players sad about Jorginho Rutter's departure. Like I said to you guys when he was due to leave, look at his social media after. All the players are there saying, "Where you deserve this, wish you luck," and all that kind of stuff. They, of course, they'll miss his personality around the place, but they know the business, and they know that if another team comes in for them, let's just say Crystal Palace. We've seen Crystal Palace in terms of them selling defenders. They just sold. They're selling Anderson today to Fulham. Imagine if they go in for Pascal, and something like. I'm not putting it out there. This is not what I want to put out there. But I'm saying, imagine they went in for Pascal because they need defensive cover, and they may lose Gahey as well. Pascal isn't going to be here crying and everything else like that. He's going to be going, "Wow, Crystal Palace, Premier League. Yes, I would like that." And who can blame him? Because he's got. I think Pascal has gone back up to that capability where he's got the potential to play in the Premier League again. But that's what I'm saying. But you should be ready for those eventualities. But it shouldn't be an excuse why you're dropping a 3-0 clanger against Borough and going to West Brom not to lose. For me, that those excuses don't wash with me. Um, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was, and that's what we said as well on the early stream. The first half was even. We were both rubbish, but then Borough came out in the second half and imposed their game on us and absolutely clapped us to pieces, didn't they? But look, yeah, I mean, look, ignore those people. But look, he has to get the best out of the team. There's no way, and we're not doing the preview today. We'll do that tomorrow. But when you're looking at a team that's got Dan James at this level, Willie Nonto, Joel Peru, Mateo Joseph, and even behind them, Ampadu, Strauch and Rodon, you've got to do better. Jaden Bogle as an attacking fullback, you've got to be better. And by the way, Jaden Bogle should have even extra fire, because every time he touches the ball, first of all, he's a Leeds player, but he was an ex-Blade, so he should have even extra fire to do well in this game. There's just more that he could be doing to make the team a little bit more fluid with the movement and not so static, not so slow in the build-up, and let us get more shots on target. Because if you remember, people, we didn't have any problems getting shots off last season. If you remember, in a lot of the match reactions that we did, it was like we would have around 19 shots, 21 shots, but only like 6 on target. We're nowhere near those numbers so far this season. So that has to improve big time. But as going back to the signings, he says on signings, there's a lot of work to do. Yes, there is. Daniel Farke says he doesn't mind fronting up to the questions, which may be better put to the owners. He's the face of it. I get paid well. I'm here to bring stability. I don't want to hide. I also act as a shield, which he has done. But in turn, with Daniel Farke today, he is somebody that has made it very clear. Our key players are gone. You need to replace them. And he didn't, and he hasn't hidden from that. And I think that's pretty admirable, because a lot of managers wouldn't do that. It's almost like the managers throwing the owners under the bus. But this is on the 49er enterprises to get the players in. It's 100% on them, not Daniel Farke. Daniel Farke's got to do better with what he's got, but they've got to back him in the transfer market. By the way, interesting with this as well. Tamsterman here saying anyone loving 49ers and Red Bull. Just on the Red Bull side, a lot of you, when the Red Bull deal came, was closed, we're talking about, oh, they're gonna get involved. It's gonna be Red Bull, Leeds United. Funny, I've seen a lot of comments over the last couple of weeks. Where's Red Bull in this? Can't we use their scouting network? Now you want Red Bull to get involved. This is what I say, people. Everybody is a hypocrite. Everybody. Just choose your hypocrisies. You know, one of those. Darren saying here, he even said he warned them in January. He did. And you've got to. The thing is, for me, you've got to plan that way. And I think it would be very naive of the 49ers to even think that if we weren't to go up, that we were just going to have Jorginho Rutter and Crescencio Somerville again. And again, Daniel Farke today was talking about the contracts and things like that. It's something I've said before. Look, and there's no proving it, so there's no point arguing about it. But it's one of those where, yes, they signed off on the Jorginho Rutter deal, but they weren't involved in the contract negotiations, which is something I've said before. Now, you can think that they were not on negotiations. You can think they weren't. It doesn't matter at this point, does it? The fact is now it's still cleaning up a bit of that mess from before, but we should be doing better in the market. There's players out there to get, people. There really is. There's players out there to get, seriously. Saying John Knox here, it's unusual for the Americans to not be good at PR and keeping their customers, which is us, the fans, informed. I think with the PR side, John, and everyone else, it's those things in like the goodbye statements. I think that they think that is the PR that's covering them. You know, things like with the Jorginho Rutter, we did everything we could to keep him. For me, that's not good PR. That's kind of a show of, we know that you would have tried, but it means you failed. So why would you put that out there? And I said it already on a previous video. I think I'd said it on the one I uploaded about Jorginho Rutter and the whole "don't go to bed just yet" thing. It's time for this club to stop to be professional with the outgoings now. It was to appease the passion merchant fans last summer when all the players were leaving on loan. It's time to make those goodbye messages a bit more professional again, because it's become a bit embarrassing now. We're looking a bit like victims when players leave now. So it doesn't make us look very strong in that instance, but we'll see what the social media team do from there. Darren here saying, KG, but Farke himself didn't prepare for any change in his tactics. Again, Darren, that's true. This is the thing. When it comes to the 49er enterprise and Daniel Farke, both people should be doing better. But so this isn't like one is to blame more than the other at this stage of the season. You can talk about blame for last year, cool. But so far this season, both are to blame, because we should have more points on the board. You know, we've been in turmoil in terms of players leaving, but so have Burnley, and Burnley have put up a 9-piece in 2 games. You know, I've said it before. It's that sink or swim, isn't it? You either thrive in the face of adversity or you wilt. And it always just seems at this football club that we like to wilt whenever adversity is in our faces. So yeah, it's on Farke as well to adjust the tactics, and we'll see if he does that against Sheffield Wednesday on Friday. Ryan here, why can't we just be a normal club without the drama anxiety? Because we're Leeds United, Ryan, and we don't work like that. You know that, right? Imagine if this club was run normally. It'd be crazy. But look, just on that though, Daniel, the 49er enterprises do still have time, 9 days. Yes, we would have hoped that they would have got the business done much sooner, but they can pull out some sensational business and get the players in that we need. And you know what? People will forget. Results, good results. I've told you before, wins cure everything. Good result against Sheffield Wednesday. Everyone's buzzing on Friday. You can go into your weekend chill. But if we lose that game, oh boy, we'll speak about it tomorrow. But look, we'll speak about a name that was linked. And the problem is with this one, people, is this Santi, let's go with owner. He's very he's very hit and miss for me. So he's linked us with League 2 player Ilan Kebbal. I don't know anything about him. I'm just going to put it out there. I've never seen him play a full 90 minutes. The only red flags that concern me straight away is that he's 26 and he's still in League 2 in the French league. That's a big red flag for me. On the highlights that I saw of him, he seemed to have a lot of space and time on the ball to conduct his business. He's not going to get that in the Championship. So if this is one that he comes, there may be an adjustment. He doesn't look physically imposing either. And he doesn't look exceptionally quick either, but he looks like a very cultured footballer. And The only reason why I'm saying this is this one is that the link kind of makes sense. It will be a fairly cheap deal. Uh, he looks like, and I'm not being horrible. I'm just saying though, it looks kind of like a I want Jorginho Rutter. Well, we got a Jorginho Rutter at home kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he could fill that vault. I feel really horrible for saying that, but you know what I'm saying. But apparently, it's us and Burnley that are in for him. But according to Paris FC fans, he's very happy to be there. But of course, as we know in this business, money talks. And Paris FC, if they get a decent offer for him in the league that they're in, they will probably accept it. Yeah, it is Nige D. Yeah, you can't get away from that though. 2 wins in 13. You can't. Gavin, don't joke with that one. Don't joke with that one. But look, one player I want to speak about, and this isn't a link, people. This is me providing a solution. We keep on talking about the problems in terms of recruitment. People keep on bringing up the same names over and over again, whether it be Whitaker, whether it be Jonathan Rowe, and everything else like that. Well, I've got a different name, and as I said earlier, I've been holding this one for the right time. And listen, there's no harm in putting it out there, is there? There's no harm. Mathias, damn, because that's his second name. Kvistgaarden is a Danish under 21 forward, but he is silky player, primarily a striker, people, but his all-round game, he is technically sound, intelligent footballer, and he's one of these now where you get him from Bromby, and if it works for you, your quid's in. It's one of these where it could be one of those where he impresses here so much. Hopefully he would go with us, but if not, it could be like a Gyökeres kind of thing. And it's one of these where if he's being linked to a French club or a Dutch club, or even previously Celtic before they bought Adam Ida from Norwich, you get the benefit of that before he goes there, impresses, and then you go, oh, how much do we have to pay? And apparently with Bromby here, they want around 8 million for him. And that may have gone up a little bit, but look, if it's 8 million, that seems to be in the 49ers wheelhouse. And also with that, if it goes up to 10 after add-ons, you do it. You absolutely do it. Lodi saying, what position is he? He's primarily a striker, Lodi, but he can operate off the wings and attack in midfield. So you are hitting loads and loads of things with adaptability there, but not with any drop off, because he can come deep for the ball, create from deep, but he's a good forward as well. So if you need a partner for Joseph, someone to play off, he is another viable option. 22 years old. People will get obsessed with his height. He's about 5'8", but he has a gymnastics background. And if you look at him, he can jump above people that are 6 foot. He's got that athletic prowess in the air. So there's no need to worry about his height. He's not a physical player, but he will get round you. He can close control. He can skip round you. His intelligence makes him go into space and beat defenders. And I think he would be absolutely perfect for us at this level. I really do, with the potential to go to the Premier League too. It's something that I would love to see, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm giving another solution to the problem that we have. And he is somebody that could be, and he's a very good ball carrier as well. I should have said that. Very good ball carrier, both footed as well, people. Both footed. He's primarily right footed. They say, but go see him hit them with his left. You would never believe it. So yeah. Yes, he's not. He is not. No. Brolin was Swedish though. Brolin was Swedish. Now he's Danish. He's Danish, and he will get called up to the Danish squad eventually. He will. The potential is crazy. That's why you need to act on these kind of players. And we've been speaking about this. And the reason why I brought him up is that we've been speaking about players and going for players that are off the grid, ones that we haven't been linked with, going to other leagues and getting gems. This is exactly it, people. This is exactly it. Michael saying, KG, give those tools Miles. Oh man, Michael, did you have to give those people Miles, Hammond, and Steinson a call? No. Tamsterman, and this is what I mean. This is what I'm saying. We're going off beating names, but look, Maxwell Cornet has been someone people have said, but Maxwell Cornet can't stay healthy. People, he's been injured for quite a long periods of time. And I don't think he dropped down into the championship anyway. I don't even think it's a non-starter. Somebody else actually did say in regards to Buendia, he's just come off a long-term injury. And again, Villa being in the Champions League, I think will probably just, put the kibosh on that. He's worked with Daniel Farke before. Obviously, that would be lovely to get him. I don't think the injury would be anything to worry about, and he would get his mojo back in the Championship. But I don't think that's likely to happen. Probably too expensive as well. Think of his wages for a start. Even if we half that, I don't think we could afford it. But look, I'm just putting it out there. If you don't know who he is, go and look him up. Come back to me in the comments. See what you think. But yeah, this would be my one for a forward that can cover all positions, all rounder. Love him, absolutely love him. Let's see. Let me just see there. Okay, yeah. So what are we saying? So did someone say bring back JKA? No way. Uh, why do people keep talking about Ramazani? I'm gonna look it up now. Let me look it up. There's a couple of you saying it in the chat. Is this those message board kind of things? Let me just have a quick look before we exit this. Oh, right, the flight things. Yeah. All right. Look, if anything comes of it, we'll speak of it then. But yeah, we'll keep this. We'll keep this one. Snipe Duck Genius. Shout out to you, man. Just watch him. He's very good. Good scouting, bro. Yeah. Well, I know a thing or two about a thing or two. One of those. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But listen, people. I think that is it for the show today. We're going to come back tomorrow for the preview for the Sheffield Wednesday game, go into our ideal lineups and everything else, score predictions for tomorrow. But listen, until then, please hit like on the video, drop your comments on anything discussed today, and I'll see you in the next video, people. See you in the next one. Peace out.